Hey. Shoot.
Hi, I'm Devin Jones.
I got the giggles, man. I can't. Hold up. All right. Hi, I'm Craig Jones.
And I'm Devin Jones.
We are a father-son review team, and we saw Bad Boys for Life. And we're going to talk about what we felt about the movie and probably a little bit how we feel about the franchise in general. But first, we're going to talk to the parents.
Parents. It's not terrible. There isn't a whole lot of cussing, but it's still there. When it's there, it's there.
This is an R-rated movie. Don't take your kids to see it.
And then
there's a lot of violence.
People getting shot a lot.
A lot of F-bombs all the way through the movie. There's swearing and cursing. If you don't want your kids to see that, then don't take them to see this movie. There's a lot of there's not any nudity in it, I didn't think, this time around. The other ones had nudity in them. This one doesn't. This doesn't have sexual stuff in it, I didn't think, right?
They talk about sexual stuff.
Yeah, but it's not.
But
the other ones were very more.
there.
I think the other movies were actually more R-rated than this one, but
Probably.
Especially the second one. The second one was just gross at certain points. It was just they're like dead bodies with that were getting thrown out on the freeway. That second movie, whatever. But this is probably, if your kids have seen the other Bad Boys films, they'll be fine with this one. But just know that it's R-rated for excessive violence, bullets going in people's heads, innocent people getting killed. You know, that's always a bad thing, you know. So put the weapons away. Oh, jeez. See a couple gangster shoot 'em up films and he wants to get out his BB gun.
I always got my stuff out.
Yeah, whatever, okay.
I'm always packing.
Yeah, always. All right. Anyway, but like we said, Bad Boys for Life. It's a Bad Boys film, so there's a lot of violence, a lot of swearing, and a lot of innocent people get killed.
Yeah.
So there you go. So now that we've talked about that, normally I let you go first, but we'll change it up today. I'll just talk about how I feel about the movie. Is that good?
Okay.
All right. Bad Boys for Life. The only problem I've ever had with the Bad Boy franchise is the way they film them. I don't like the shaky cam and all that. And I love the first Bad Boys film. I really love that movie. The second one I didn't like at all. I didn't like the story. I didn't like how they filmed it. I didn't like how it was edited.
The second one just wasn't very good.
I didn't like the story. The only part of that second one I liked was when the boyfriend came to date Martin Lawrence's daughter, and they just basically scared the crap out of that kid, which pays off in this movie pretty well. Did you recognize that's the same dude? So
I was gonna not say that because
it set this movie up pretty good. Well, you know, we haven't given anything away, but
but we said he's in the movie.
He's in the movie, but this film,
I thought that was in the first one.
Shut up. This film, the first half of the movie is filmed in a way that I didn't like. Like, there's no headroom. It's just the camera's way too close to the action. I wasn't enjoying that. But something happens, like halfway through production, it's like they just started pulling the camera back a little bit, and then it did look good to me. So it's like, okay. So half the film I didn't like the way it looked. The other half I did like the way it looked. And part of whether you like a movie or not is how it aesthetically looks to you. Yeah. But I really did enjoy the movie because I felt that this wasn't just a sequel. This was more like a continuation. I felt like these characters have changed in 20 years. They're different now. And it deals with the fact, in a lot of ways, you don't see this in a lot of action sequels, that these characters have gotten older and they want different things in life. And I thought their performances were really good. I liked the story. And one of the things I hated about the second Bad Boys is that the villain wasn't. He was just kind of, I didn't care. He wasn't menacing at all. Yeah. The villains in this movie are menacing, man. They're really like, you know, the strength of a good cop shoot 'em up movie is how good your villain is, and these villains I thought were really good.
Yeah, these are some bad dudes.
Yeah, and they were menacing. You were scared when you saw them, so I thought that was cool. Yeah, and I only gripe I have with it is that it felt like this is the first time I felt like Will Smith was the star of this movie and Martin Lawrence was just kind of a supporting actor.
Yeah.
And it may be because Will Smith ain't had a hit in a while, so maybe he was like, man, I want to star in a movie that makes money and be the star. Because the story really does center around him. and some stuff that's going on with him. And Martin Lawrence is just kind of there. And that I didn't like, because what I always loved about the other, even the second one that I didn't like, I love how they were both the main characters.
Yeah.
I didn't feel like Martin Lawrence's character was a main character. I thought he was a supporting actor. But, that's a minor gripe. I liked the movie. I did. I thought the action sequences were done fairly well. Like I said, the first half of the movie the camera was too close. I didn't enjoy that. But the second half, they pulled the camera back a little bit, and I enjoyed the movie. What did you think?
That it was enjoyable. It was funny. Not all the jokes worked, but
yeah,
there were enough that it was good. And just them two actors, Will Smith and Martin Lawrence, they just have a good charisma together. They just seem like good friends. I mean, they probably are. So it just works.
I wonder. I don't know. I bet they're good work friends.
Yeah.
Probably hang out when they work together, pretty much. But they do have a very good chemistry together.
Yeah. This movie just works in a lot of ways.
Yeah, I'm not going to give away the line because I hate when people do that. But I thought, it made me laugh out loud when there's a very cool moment where the Will Smith character is saying something that you would probably normally say in a modern action flick, and the Martin Lawrence character kind of reminds him how old he is and how stupid it sounds to hear him say that.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what I liked about the movie. It had that dynamic. I felt like these are these same characters, but 20 years later, 25 years later. Because, the first Bad Boys really was something special. We hadn't seen something like that in a while. You weren't alive, but in the 90s where it's like, hey, there's black people on screen, and they're the heroes, and they're shooting up the villains, and this is great, and they're cool. They made them cool. They were like, they weren't buffoons, they were good.
I mean, they bad boys.
Yeah, they're the bad boys, and that stuff's always seemed corny to me, the whole Bad Boys take, the bad boys for life, ride or die. That's always corny to me, and that there's plenty of that in this movie. That stuff's corny. Every time they say it, I'm sorry, every time they say it, it's corny. Ride or die, bad boys for life.
Funny, though.
It's corny, dude.
Sometimes it's kind of funny.
It's funny because it's corny.
Like
That's
on the
why.
plane. That was funny.
But, it's still, I love these characters. I love watching it. And Will Smith needed a hit because his last few movies haven't hit,
Everybody made fun of him for being in Aladdin.
Well, that movie hit, though.
Yeah.
That movie, yeah, I'm wrong. That movie actually hit, but that hit because it was Aladdin.
I didn't really like that movie.
I liked the movie.
I didn't have a problem. Will did good.
Dude, we did a review, and they can go see, and you gave it worth the popcorn.
Yeah, but
it was a mild recommendation for us, though. We weren't bonkers over it or anything, but it was all right. It was
opinions change. I still think
mine doesn't.
It's probably still worth the popcorn, but it's whatever.
So what would you rate this movie, Bad Boys for Life?
Worth the popcorn.
I'm gonna say the same thing. Worth the popcorn for me as well. I'm not. It's not quite bomb diggity. The first movie was bomb diggity to me. That's our highest.
The second
praise.
movie, I would say, is a misfire.
Oh, I would call that second movie Dookie on the Street. Sits there and stinks, man. It's horrible.
No, I'd say this movie was worth the popcorn.
Yeah. I really enjoyed watching this movie. I thought it was fun. It was exciting. I thought the love interest aspect was kind of lame. It's almost like they were trying to do too much story-wise in this movie, but
I mean, I like them scenes with Will Smith and the one chick because of Martin Lawrence.
Yeah, you're right.
That was when it's like, you dumbass. That was hilarious.
There's the one, it was filmed beautiful. It's like you see her walk away, it rack focuses to Martin Lawrence, he turns around, you dumb. Yeah, I know we just kind of spoiled that a little bit, but that was beautiful. Yeah, that was. I remember laughing at that one. That was awesome. But this is a good movie. It's solid. If you like the other Bad Boys films, you'll like this movie. You know, I can't see why you wouldn't. It's
still got your cool scenes, and I do like the aspect that it focuses on them just getting old.
Yeah.
And the way that they take it differently.
Well, it's cool for me because those guys are my age. So it's like, I know exactly what they're going through. You feel like you're 20, but you're not, And it's like sometimes you got to be like, well, I really can't act like this anymore. I got to stop doing this stuff. But that woman, that woman was fine.
The villain?
The villain and the love interest. Yeah, both of them was.
Yeah.
I don't know how I felt about that little because there is like a post-credit thing sequence, and it felt like a Marvel movie to me. I was like, this.
It kind of did like.
It's like I don't need Bad Boys.
You interested?
To be,
yeah.
Yeah, I don't need Marvel to be like the Avengers. I mean, no, I don't need Bad Boys to be like the Avengers. It felt like a Marvel teaser at the end of the movie for some next movie. But I mean, Will does need some hits, so maybe he shouldn't wait like 15 years in between these movies. He might want to turn another one out pretty soon, you know?
I mean, I liked that. I didn't expect for another Bad Boys to come out, and when it did, I'm not let down.
Yeah.
It was good.
But I just don't understand the end. We can't give it away, but is that going to be a break-off character in his own movie, or what?
That I don't know if I would like that.
I wouldn't.
I'm
like
not
that.
interested in that character enough, but
not if he's separated from the Bad Boys
if
universe. No, I don't care.
If they still keep it as Bad Boys, but have him be more of the main character than them.
No, I don't want to see that either.
Like they're kind of like the. I don't know. Nah.
Who knows? They could make a good movie because that character is pretty sweet, but he's whatever.
But no, I don't think I would like to see a movie that's just about
based
him.
on him. Yeah. He's good though.
He's a good character, and
good actor.
The way that he's just doing stuff is just cool.
But that just felt out of place to me. I felt like I was watching, Sam Jackson talk to somebody about the Avengers. That's what it felt like at the end of the movie. I'm like, what is this? This ain't a comic book movie, I don't need that,
I'll take a break from you real quick.
All right, we had to talk about some basically the end. I don't know what they call that. The end teaser at the end of the movie, the post-credit thing.
Kind of dumb.
It's really doesn't make a lot of sense, and it's stupid on a lot of different levels, and it didn't make me excited to see where they're trying to take this because it felt like it belonged in a Marvel movie and it was stupid. But other than that, Bad Boys for Life, I thought was a good time at the movies. I had a lot of fun watching this movie. Even though I hate the way half of the movie is filmed, there was enough charisma between the leads. And the dialogue was good enough, and some of the action was good enough that I would say, yeah, it's worth seeing. Especially if you love those characters and you love that franchise.
This is definitely a movie where, like, if I see it pull up on Netflix in like a couple months, I'm definitely gonna watch it.
Yeah, I'd watch it again.
I would definitely watch this movie again.
I don't think I'd pay to go see it.
I might see it in theaters again, just with somebody.
Yeah, take somebody else. I ain't paying to see it again. It ain't that good, but
it's a good film.
Yeah, it was good. How about this? You come back in 15 years and make another one. They're retired because they'll be like 65 by then. They're retired and then they get into some trouble on vacation.
I'd be cool with that.
Yeah, I'd be great with that. They get mixed up in some kind of international incident and they got to just be bad boys in their 60s. I'd be cool with that.
I mean, this, it's, they say last ride.
Yeah. I know they keep saying the last ride like this is it. But then that weird thing at the end of the movie, they're probably just trying to make that other character be somebody, and I don't need to see him again. I'm done.
Yeah, I wouldn't really want to see a movie that's like just about him.
Yeah,
the character's
even though he's like you said, he's sick.
The character's sweet, but
I
wouldn't want to see a movie just about him.
I wouldn't either. Well, you know what? What if? Okay, slight spoilers. We're not really going to spoil them. I'm giving you a warning. Okay, now what if that character? If they made a movie where he goes, where the government would like put him back to work as undercover, but he's still like a cold-blooded gangster, but he's working for the government, for the good side. I think that might be interesting. Like a Scarface, but he's double. He's a snitch. I think that could be interesting. I really like him. I don't know. I don't know if I've ever seen him before in anything else, but he really shined in this movie. He was a great villain. So hopefully they don't screw it up. But anyway, Bad Boys for Life, good time at the movies.
I'd recommend seeing it. If you like the other ones, you should probably go see this.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, if you like the other ones, you've probably already seen it. But like,
very true. I will say this though. We have seen a few movies in between this and the last video we made, and we just, I share custody with him, so we don't always have time to do this.
And I mean,
and Knives Out, good.
Good movie.
We enjoyed Knives
I'd
Out.
give that bomb diggity.
I'd give it worth popcorn, but Knives Out is like an old fashioned
Whodunit.
70s whodunit film, and I think that Ryan Johnson he nailed it almost. It didn't completely. It's not as completely as good as those old '70s films, but he came really damn close. So I would say, and my other son, he didn't go with us, did he?
Nah, but I think he still saw it.
Because he hates Ryan Johnson because of Last Jedi, but did he like this movie? He liked Knives Out?
If I remember him, I feel like I remember him saying that he saw it, and if he did, then I'm pretty sure he said he liked it.
Well, yeah, so for Star Wars fans who hated The Last Jedi and are mad at Ryan Johnson, I'm never going to watch anything he does. Hey, man, this is his element, this movie, Knives Out, it's good. So you'd be like, hey, support him in that stuff and keep him away from, Star Wars, and you'll be fine,
Yeah.
What have we seen?
Frozen 2 was all right. You didn't see that, but
I didn't see Frozen 2.
It was all right.
I don't remember nothing about the first one, though, so Frozen 2, huh?
Surprisingly, Wesley, my big 17, he's 17 now, right?
No, he's 16 still.
Yeah, big old 16 hoodlum brother. He's over here, and he said that Frozen is one of the best 3D animated Disney movies out. And like
the original?
Yeah, saying that it's better than everything that Disney's made. Not everything, but like all the 3D animated stuff, the new stuff. He's saying
not
that Frozen's
Pixar
the best.
though. He's talking about Disney.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember.
He got the Frozen soundtrack in his car, so he'll just be sitting there.
He does
playing that. I mean, as a joke, but like.
No, it ain't no joke. If you riding around with a CD in your ride, then you like it.
It's like he has an Ed Sheeran disc in there, and he hates Ed Sheeran, but he still has it in there. If he bought it,
he likes it.
Dad,
he's lying.
It's Wesley.
He's lying. If he bought it, he likes it. He's lying.
He doesn't not like it, but he has it as a joke.
Wesley still got some of that. He's like me. He's tough on the outside, but he's still got his inner child intact. Because I can still go watch a movie made for kids and still love it.
Yeah.
And he's like that too. So dang, Frozen. I see now I'm gonna mess with him. You shouldn't have told me that. Next time you talk mess, I'll be like, I want you to go in your car and listen to Frozen.
Him in there like, here I stand.
Yeah, when he's mad about something, he'll be like, let it go, let it go.
Nah, Wesley will get so pissed if you do that.
You can't tell me stuff like that because the jokes are there. It's low-hanging fruit, man.
That's something if he's freaking out at a video game, then you could do that.
Let it go, let it go. Tell me at least that they, without spoilers, that they made fun of that song in the second one.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I thought that would be sweet because that song was so huge that if they just made a little fun of that.
Yeah, Anna makes fun of Elsa for it, and Elsa's ashamed of it, and it's they make some jokes about it.
I might have to watch that movie, man. I might have to.
I
don't remember the first one
bad.
at all, though. So I remember seeing it at home. I don't remember watching the movie though.
Yeah.
But all right. So that's the movies we've seen. Bad Boys for Life, good movie. You should go see it.
Yeah.